This is my wife's 2013 Mercedes-Benz ML350. It's now called a GLE since 2015. Anyway, it's been a pretty reliable car. I've only had to change a few things, just minor stuff. Recently, I got a check engine light for the very first time. So I used my fancy schmancy wireless OBD2 diagnostic tool, and it gave me like 18 errors. Out of the 18 errors, 17 errors were from when I changed the battery a few years ago. When you change the battery, something doesn't reset or something like that, you can just erase all the codes and it won't come back. But I don't need to see all the technical stuff, 18 codes. Just tell me what's the problem right now that's causing the check engine light. So I used my cheapo $20 one, and it gave me one code, P0130. What's 130? 130 is the Bank 1 Sensor 1 oxygen sensor. I learned that on Mercedes, Bank 1 is actually the right side of the engine, passenger side. Sensor 1 is the updraft one. There are like 6 oxygen sensors on the 2 exhaust pipes that come down from the manifold. Top one is the updraft. The one after the catalytic converter is number 2. And then there's one, number 3, which is near the rear muffler. So because of these OBD2 diagnostic tools, you know exactly which sensor is busted instead of trying to troubleshoot which one out of the 6 is. So because I know it's Bank 1, Sensor 1, it's on the right side, first one on the top. Now usually you have to crawl underneath to have access to that sensor. But I opened up the hood the other day. I looked at Bank 2 because there was nothing in the way, you could just see. And you could actually reach the sensor from the top of the engine compartment. I went on eBay, which is what I like to use because honestly, it's the cheapest. Cheapest is not always best, but honestly, people write $50 for this sensor, when in reality, it's made by the exact same factory and other listers will list it for like $28, which is how much this cost. So it took like a week to get here, usually from California, like City of Industry, Rancho Cucamonga, California. They got crazy drop shippers over there nonstop. Anyway, it looks like the right pin, 6 pin for Mercedes with this shape. It's funny, it's a 6 pin, but there's only 5 wires. And it has a cover for the oxygen sensor. So I'm just gonna locate where Bank 1 Sensor 1 is, try to remove it without a special oxygen sensor tool. I'm gonna just try to use a wrench. Hopefully replacing the oxygen sensor will remove my check engine light. Yes, I did try to erase it, but it says fault is still present. You can erase all you want, it's gonna come right back. So because I have my own OBD2 diagnostic tools, no need to go to the dealership and pay hundreds of dollars for them to tell you what's wrong with it and where the problem is. I found out myself for free. And instead of paying like $150 for a Mercedes-Benz sensor, I'm gonna try a $30 one. Sticks sometimes. So this is what it looks like under the hood. Can't see much, but I knew that over here you could actually see it. There it is right there. It's right on the intake manifold. Very accessible. However, that's Bank 2. Bank 1 is over here, but it has this thing in the way. I don't know what this thing is. I'm gonna have to try to remove it just so I can have access to that area so I can spot where the sensor is. You know you're gonna get dirty, so you gotta change into some work clothes. Gotta remove this plastic thing to see where that ends up. Sometimes if you lift it up fast, you won't break the tabs. Like that. Now it's starting to look like a real engine. Looks like quite a bit of stuff to remove here. Reverse torques over here, over there. I don't know, man. Don't be afraid. I know it sounds bad, Nothing broke. See, I'm a few seconds into it. You're already dirty. As a Mercedes-Benz owner who likes to work on the car himself, you have to have some reverse torques. You see, Mercedes doesn't want you to work on their cars because they want you to take it to their dealership so they can charge you $1 million to fix a simple thing. That's why they make crazy nuts and bolts where a regular person doesn't have. This is the air filter box. Take the cover off, there are these little torques over here. There's only 3. But the one way in there, there's no way my hand's gonna be able to get in there with any kind of tool to take it off. So I wanna take the whole box off, and it looks like 2 reverse torques. Doesn't budge. I have to disconnect this from this. Look at these clamps. I've never seen them before. How do you even remove this? It's got some kind of, I think this is the mass air sensor. What kind of crazy hose clamp is this? How do I take that off? Mass air sensor, I think. No idea how to remove this. Ooh. Ooh, that was good. Ooh, that was kind of easy, I'm not gonna lie. There's the air box. I don't believe I've ever changed the filter, but it looks pretty clean. So here we go. It opened it up really well. As you can see, there is the oxygen sensor. Not bad. However, the place where you use a wrench to turn it is covered by this huge heat shield. This heat shield is attached by 4 reverse Torx bolts holding the whole cover in really tight.
That's what she said.
So, I was only able to remove 3 out of the 4 reverse torque bolts. But because the bottom one was so close to the manifold, you couldn't get anything in there, all right? But I managed to move the heat shield out of the way, and what do you see? A clear shot at the oxygen sensor. I'm stoked. Whipped out a whole bunch of different wrenches, and what fits is a 7/8. I'm gonna loosen the old one, try to find where the pigtail connects to, disconnect it, and remove it. Removing the pigtail plug was a nightmare, all the way in the back. But it disconnected pretty easily. I looked at the plug and it was the 6-pin with that shape. So I'm just gonna loosen that and see what happens. That was easier than I thought. I thought it was gonna be a pain. Some people use carb cleaner and just soak this and stuff like that and maybe get more life out of it. But yeah, that's it. Comparing it to the aftermarket one, they look identical, don't they?
Identical.
So now I'm just gonna put in the new one. It really wasn't that hard. Okay, connected the connector back there, sucked. New oxygen sensor in there. Heat shield back on again. I'm going to put the air box back on, and that should be it. So there you go. Everything's put back together again. Honestly, it really wasn't that hard. I showed you everything I did. Of course, I couldn't get to the areas where it was really cramped. So just so you know, this doesn't necessarily mean that I fixed it. It's just the most feasible way to do it. You have an oxygen sensor fault, replace the oxygen sensor. But most of the time, that's not the problem. I would be beyond maximum stokage if my check engine light went away. But I don't have high hopes. Do I feel good that I changed the oxygen sensor by myself in really not that much time? Sure, but the primary reason is to get rid of that check engine light. Hopefully this did it. I'm gonna plug in my OBD2 connector if the light doesn't go out by itself, and usually it doesn't. Unless you drive like 50 miles. Time to start up the car and see. Check engine light is still on, but maybe I need to clear it first. Get the same 4 faults. P0130. P0130. CO300. Erase. Yes. Erase Dunsky. I just erased all 5 codes. Let's rescan.
So I didn't have any luck clearing all the codes with the cheapo one. So I hooked up the wireless one, the fancy schmancy one, and actually instead of 18, it only read 9 faults. So looking at the 9 faults, I wanted to clear it all up, and it says you can't, otherwise it'll still have problems with it. So I went into the raw data, live data, and it shows all the oxygen sensors are within spec. I don't understand. Went to the lambda controls, which I have no idea what they are.
So after all that, didn't fix a thing. I didn't think it would work. It never really does. I even checked all the fuses. It's really communication and ground. Heater circuit for the sensor, it shows it's the same. So I'm going to hold on to that old sensor. May not be bad at all. I have something else going on. So while I didn't clear my check engine light, seemingly I've done absolutely nothing to change the status of the car. However, I did show you how to change your oxygen sensor on Bank One Sensor One. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe so I can continue to bring you big engine repairs. We'll see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers. Mowers and Blowers hats. I designed it myself. The HIPA Mowers and Blowers partnership hat. Fully embroidered in the Mowers and Blowers logo, snapback trucker hat. Our limited edition, and for the first 50 people who buy one of my new hats, sticker sheet, bottle opener, keychain. I'm selling these now on my eBay store. I'll leave a link in the description. Hope you guys all pick one up so I can continue to make small engine videos like this one. We'll see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.